the protests I see have to do with the Oscars and with Hillary Clinton. A Black Lives Matter protester interrupted Hillary at a fundraiser and said, Hillary Clinton, can you apologize to black people for mass incarceration? You know, of the 1,000 things I could complain about with Hillary Clinton, being a racist really doesn't rise to the top of it. I mean, it's
and she's also used to getting the apologies.
It sure is fun being purer than everybody else.
Right.
But does this person realize that Donald Trump in South Carolina, 20% of the voters who voted for Donald Trump disagree with the Emancipation Proclamation?
Right.
And this is who you're going after? This is where we start the battle, you fucking idiots.
No, I don't agree with that.
I don't think, look,
Really?
wait a
I'll
minute.
tell you why.
Bill, I don't.
Yo, real quick, I wanted to point something out, as I've been saying for a while, that your girl Angela Bright Skin Rural Magic has jumped on the bandwagon of I want to be fake neutral and fake, hold politicians accountable, even though she's been up on a Breakfast Club pushing it back against rhetoric like that, trying to shut up Charlamagne. But even her own followers on Facebook have been, like, pushing back against her. There was a segment with Nicole Wallace, a.k.a. Bush's bitch-ass fake Republican flunky. She, I didn't see the full video. I'm probably going to watch it after this, but they played the segment where Al Sharpton is speaking on the Charlamagne thing, and the way he responded seems as if they framed it in a way that this is something that's going to benefit Trump. So not only that, you have a never-Trump Republican framing a question in a way to somehow say that this is Charlamagne trying to benefit Trump. But this is, again, the plantation. Yeah, I don't like the rhetoric and the language being used, but that's what it seemed like. Even the white liberal, even though the white conservative never-Trumper is like, how dare he question Joe Biden? Right? Like, they feel a way too. But one of the comments you see right there is Janet Brown, and she's on some, she got 325 response. Now, this is Janet Brown telling Angela Rye, Angela, you need to pull this back. And you guys stop with the words and the grandstanding to see who sounds the most important. Don't you get what you're doing? It's showing division, uncertainty, and doubt. We cannot afford this. We don't have time for it. We must be united and defeat Trump. Because getting actual tangibles, no, this is me, that's not what politics is about. It's about beating one politician instead of getting actually something for your vote like every other group. So like I've been saying since the beginning of this Trump's election is that black folks is going to sit out and not get shit done the next 8 years, just like we didn't get shit the last 8 with Obama. So that's 16 years in a row with black folks not getting any policy to address their issues. But I digress. We must give our best effort. There are folks who may use this as an excuse not to vote, and that's their business. It's not an excuse. It's a reason. It's a difference. No, it's the same thing. Don't matter, though. That's their right. Again, the plantation mentality is we own you. So even if you have a valid reason to be offended by something a politician said, which happens all the freaking time, every day a politician opens their mouth and loses people based on things that they said. Hillary Clinton made a comment in the 90s when I was a little kid about women baking cookies, and that shit pissed off a bunch of white working moms or stay-at-home moms or whatever. And she didn't get them votes because of that stupid-ass comment she made over damn near 30 years ago almost. Please help us bring this back. It's not all about you guys being in the spotlight. We need you all to help, not hinder. And then there's a bunch of comments with her agreeing. She has 352 likes. So you go down the list, and there are people who are saying they agree. They don't have a problem telling people that they're not black based on not voting for Biden. Even though many policies in the last 20 years, just start at Clinton, not even talking about the 94 crime bill, but just looking at welfare reform, the Community Reinvestment Act, which is what helped bring in the housing crisis that, half of black wealth got wiped out. Obama didn't do anything to address that either in his 8 years presidency. There's a lot of policy you can point to from the Democratic Party in particular that has hindered black folks outside of being tough on crime, Bill Clinton. But this is the sickness of the black American voter, is that they are really willing to sacrifice another 8 years, another 4 more years of not getting any policy, not working. When was up in the tower and beginning all these liberal outlets, Twitter and Facebook and all these feminist groups, guess what? They were up there trying to negotiate and get shit. Yeah, Twitter and Facebook, all these companies, they may operate liberally. They might operate with the biases and whatnot on the surface, but when it comes to economics and getting money, them motherfuckers conservative as hell. And they in the game trying to get their bag. But everybody up there but us. We demonized and ridiculed and clowned people. Like, I'm not a fan of Steve Harvey, but Steve Harvey went up there and he actually got something from Trump that he wanted for his boys and girls program, or his boys program, his mentoring class. He went up there and got it done. He introduced him to Dr. McCarson, and he actually got stuff. And what did Black America do? We ridiculed them and we demonized them for working with the president. But hey, this is how black folks want to do business. The little bit of political capital you got left, and this is the first time in a long time that you can stand on your own and use this as a negotiation tool. But no, we up here demonizing, fighting, beating up each other because you want to get rid of one particular politician that, let's be honest, if you tried to work with him, you can get something, as opposed to nothing the last 8 years with Obama. But this is how the black liberal is. What Joe Biden said is not far-fetched, because that's what a lot of Negroes believe. The only thing that happened bad was the white liberal felt comfortable, as Mace Jackson, shout out to him, he said that black folks have invited white liberals to the kickout so many times that they done got comfortable and put their feet on the couch. You don't let nobody come in your house and put their feet on the couch. And that's how you got these bold, bitch-ass white liberals like Bill Maher and Symphony Young Turks that feel comfortable disparaging other black people. Remember when Bill Maher referred to Black Lives Matter as stupid because they were protesting Hillary in 94 crime bill? Don't forget that. Remember, he attacked them because they actually wanted to hold her accountable, or her husband accountable, for policies that she cheerleaded for. You cannot separate the two. I have a video on that. I don't know if I did it yet. But I was making the point that the same way that Nancy Reagan was pushed out there in front of the media to promote the war on drugs, Hillary Clinton was pushed out there to promote mass incarceration. The lily white woman was used to get sympathy and votes and support for policies. They are no different. Now, black folks will be quick to point out what Nancy Reagan did and how wrong that was, because her kids is a bunch of cokeheads. But they'll ignore the fact that what Hillary wrote was, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and just say she promoted it, but we all know that Hillary was not the typical first lady. She went above and beyond her duty and almost got in trouble for doing shit she had no business doing because she wasn't an elected official. But you have all these black folks, Michael Eric Dyson, Joanne Reed, tap dancing about, oh, she wasn't the president, she wasn't even in Congress. But she still sat outside and pushed her husband's policies. Anyways, this is what black politics is. There is literally, all of what Dr. Claude Anderson said is coming to fruition right now when it comes to black political power and political capital. That shit gone. And then you have an opportunity, an anomaly in the ringer to say, yo, let's show these folks that we matter and that we are citizens too, and we should get things for our votes like every other fucking group does. Every other group gets something for their vote. But we over here, nah, not this time. We'll wait the next 8 years. And what you're doing right now is undermining the things that Charlamagne was saying. You're undermining what Angela Rye is hopping on the bandwagon with. Is what Diddy said. Y'all all undermining that by saying anybody but Trump, which means Biden does not have to give you a black VP. He does not have to give you a black attorney general, a black maid, a black janitor, a black pilot of Air Force One. He ain't got to do none of that shit because he already feels confident that his little "you ain't black" comment is going to get y'all Negroes in line. It is what it is. It's sad to see that what Malcolm X told us 60 years ago almost to the day, we haven't learned from that. And we're still falling for the boogeyman and the monster. Again, I'm not a Democrat, not voting for one, but I will respect black folks who actually get something for their vote, like every other group does. But that was supposed to be a drop the mic moment.
walking right in front of Clinton as she addresses the audience. And she's holding that sign there, quoting comments Clinton made as First Lady way back in 1996 about her husband's crime bill and the at-risk youth it was targeting. Here are some of those comments from 1996, followed by the incident last night in South Carolina.
But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs. Just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
So I think we've got a very, we've got somebody saying here, we have to bring them
apologize for mass incarceration.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
I'm not a super predator, Hillary Clinton.
Okay, fine, we'll talk about it.
Apologize to black people for mass incarceration.
Well, can I talk and then maybe you can listen to what I say? Okay, fine. Thank you very much. There's a lot of issues in this campaign. The very first speech that I gave back in April was about criminal justice reform and about